Kat and Rob, welcome to Speaker Spotlight.
Hi,
Hi.
nice to be here.
It's so great to have you both here because I know just how busy you are and the fantastic work that you do. So tell me a little bit about the Dyscalculia Network and how it all started.
Kat, do you want to go first?
Oh, sure. So the Dyscalculia Network, Rob and I met in 2018, and we launched the Dyscalculia Network in 2019. Initially, as we're both educators, we were mostly thinking about connecting parents up to specialist tutors and providing information for parents. But as we've grown, we found that there was much work to be done in many areas of our community. Including with adults. So the aims of our organisation and the things that we hope to do have changed over time. And we're now much more wide reaching. We work with adults with dyscalculia as well as children, because dyscalculia is something that affects people of all ages. And we also talk to lots and lots of people who support those people. So educators, people in the workplace, parents. So we're a very wide-ranging organisation, and also our key aim is to raise awareness of dyscalculia and maths difficulties.
We also, in raising awareness, as Kat said, a lot of things coming out and saying, all of those things you described, that's me, what you can do to help me. So we provide a lot of information to adults and schools and educators to really help them with dyscalculia and maths difficulties. And also we've, over the last 12 months, been doing more and more insets into schools and training of individual teachers. And particularly, we love to support TAs because I think in schools they have a lot of work to do and often have the least amount of support and training. So TAs is a particular area of ours that we like to support in schools.
And you both probably hear this question all the time. I know the answer to this, but for people watching, what exactly is dyscalculia?
So dyscalculia is a persistent learning difficulty with maths. It's not to do with somebody's ability or their age. It can apply to anybody, and it's a specific long-term difficulty with number and number sense. Things like estimating, measuring, telling the time, being able to recall basic facts. It can impact working memory and long-term memory. So it's quite a wide-ranging condition, and it affects approximately 6% of the population. So we are talking about, that's about 1 million children in the UK and about 2.5 million adults. So we're talking about a lot of people who are impacted by dyscalculia and need more help and support, because unfortunately in a recent study it was discovered that it's about 100 times less likely for a child to be diagnosed with dyscalculia compared to dyslexia. And this is really startling figures. So that means that it's really, really unlikely for a child to be picked up for this, and yet it has a huge long-term impact on people's ability to get employment and to work and in their day-to-day life.
And we know, unfortunately, we want people to be diagnosed dyscalculia as soon as possible in the beginning of education. And as we know, Rob, dyscalculic children will grow up to be dyscalculic adults.
Absolutely.
And those knock-on effects happen there then because of that lack of understanding in that diagnosis not being there.
I think Kat was absolutely spot on when she said that, there's a lack of awareness, which means there's lack of people being identified and assessed. And there's a real shortage of level 7 accredited dyscalculia assessors. And we're really trying to sort of raise awareness to sort of encourage more and more people to get that qualification so more people can be spotted and diagnosed. But that's just not the end of it. It's almost like the beginning, because once you're diagnosed, you have to have the necessary resources in place to support that person to make a difference. And there's all of those kind of, not just assessors, but also the specialist teachers are really not there across the country. And that's kind of one of the things that we're trying to sort of raise awareness, do training to make people, convert people into specialist maths tutors as well, to sort of help people and give them the strategies that are going to help them, not just in school, but through their adult life as well. So,
Co-working with the dyslexia show, we've got the Dyscalculia show for the first time ever in 2024. I know, and what you guys have
great
created
was that?
Absolutely amazing. So tell me a little bit about that.
So the discount. Oh, sorry, Rob, you go ahead.
No, you go. Honestly,
So Aaron and us have been working together for some time anyway in the background. And at the last year's Dyscalculia Day conference, which is one of the events we run, which is very close to the Dyscalculia show actually. Our Dyscalculia Day is the 3rd of March. So March is a very big month. But at our event last year at the adult conference, Aaron came and joined our adult Dyscalculia conference. And I think he was really blown away by the passion of the adults talking about their dyscalculia, and I think it really hit home to him just how poor the awareness is of dyscalculia in this country compared to dyslexia. For example, we're the only organisation working on dyscalculia in the UK, advocating and supporting people, and we're a community interest company, not a charity yet. I say yet. And yet there's many organisations for dyslexia, for autism, for Tourette's, for ADHD, dyspraxia. So it really, really is key. And Aaron's faith in us and the people who we work with and our whole network, really, because the Dyscalculia Network is what it says, a network, means that the Dyscalculia show is just an amazing opportunity for us. And we are so excited about it. And we're excited about Dyscalculia Day, but I think the face-to-face event is just going to be incredible. The NEC is a brilliant venue, and all the speakers we've got and so on. It's just such an incredible opportunity for dyscalculia awareness.
And it's not just in the UK as well. It's kind of spreading globally because, as Kat said, when we first started, we were getting messages from all over the world saying, "What's this? Can you help us with dyscalculia? Give us advice?" So it's becoming a truly sort of global kind of organisation. And the Dyscalculia Day is we have people from all over the world.
It's so exciting and so needed, and I just think, thank God for Kat and Rob, because we I think we'd all have that lack of understanding. That you really are waving the flag for dyscalculia, and someone who's dyscalculic, I'm so grateful for you both for the work that you do. So Kat, tell me a little bit about the 2 talks at the Dyscalculia show.
So Rob and I are going to be doing 2 talks at the show. The first talk, which is first thing on the Friday, is a general talk about what is dyscalculia and maths difficulties, because we're aware at the show there'll be lots of people coming who maybe just have an interest in dyscalculia as a parent or an educator, or as an adult who'd like to know just a little bit more about what dyscalculia is, what it isn't, how it might present, and just some little top tips on things to help. So we're going to do a general awareness presentation, but we're also going to do a second presentation, again, first thing on Saturday morning, because you know how busy we're going to be for the rest of the day, on teaching times tables and division, because Rob and I's particular area that we always get asked about whenever we go to a school, whenever we talk to a parent, is what do we do about times tables? Because not only people with dyscalculia, but also people with dyslexia, and many children really struggle with rote learning of times tables. And we use a different approach, which is based on a lot of fun, because Rob and I love a game. And we're going to talk about that at the show, which is a really nice opportunity to help educate people in a good way to teach times tables that benefits all children, in fact, or adults, for that matter.
I think at the show as well, in general, Kat and I love maths games. We think of them as really important component of teaching, understanding, and getting more out of the learner. So throughout the show, we'll be talking and giving advice on games that we could possibly use to help people, both parents and educators. And also we're talking about a new assessment. Sorry, I'm going to blow my own trumpet, but we've got a new assessment coming out in the summer, which will help teachers to sort of set up an intervention program as well. And also Kat has a range of fantastic books that we have on show as well. So I think you should talk a bit about those, Kat.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a series of books with Steve Chin called Succeed with Dyscalculia, which are books with teaching tips and worksheets for any age learner, just as applicable for an adult as they are for a child. No little butterflies or anything that a teenager or an adult wouldn't want to, would be embarrassed to be seen using the worksheet. So there's lots of worksheets there. So that's an exciting, they will be at the Dyscalculia show too.
Oh, it's going to be so amazing and so invaluable and beneficial for across the board, whether you're a parent, teacher, teaching assistant, work colleague, friend, someone who has dyscalculia. It's just going to be absolutely brilliant. But in the meantime, Rob and Kat, where can people find about the Dyscalculia Network? Where can people find out about your resources and your work? This is your chance to plug yourselves.
Well, the easiest way to sort of get in touch with us is through our website, dyscalculianetwork.com. And Kat and I, over the Christmas holidays, we won't be celebrating that at all because we're rewriting the content for our new website, so which is going to be coming out before Dyscalculia, the show. So watch that space on that. But it will contain lots more resources and information that's not currently available, and make it easier to find. Because at the moment we have an old sort of cottage industry website that's is a bit clunky, and we're going to have a new site available before the show that will provide that help for people.
Exactly. And also do contact through our social media. We love new social media followers. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, the works. And it's really great to connect with people through our social media as well. In fact, some of our best connections we've ever made are through social media. I believe, Lauren, you're one of them.
It is, and like that's nearly 5 years on, which is frightening. But yeah, it all started from socials, and that's the powerful thing, and that it emphasises that community feel of dyscalculia and neurodiversity in the UK and of course across the world. So yeah, it's just absolutely amazing. So thank you both so much for doing Speaker Spot, and we can't wait for the Dyscalculia show.
Us too.